innocent. And here are the top stories. France to officially recognize Palestinian state. Women and babies among 14 killed in fresh Plateau attack. ADC Chieftain laments Atiku's plan to contest Marine coalition's chances. And Presidency lambast Kwankwaso over claims of prioritizing South over North. Details now. Thank you for staying tuned. The world news at 12 begins outside the shores of Nigeria, where French President Emmanuel Macron has announced that France will officially recognize Palestinian statehood in an unprecedented move by the European country amid growing international calls for Israel to end its war on Gaza. According to the statement, the formal announcement of the decision will be presented by the French president at the United Nations General Assembly in September, where the French leader plans to declare France's recognition of the state of Palestine. Thursday's announcement set France apart from the United States and its Western allies, which have continued to directly and indirectly support Israel in its persistent military campaign in Gaza, and could cause friction between Macron and US President Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, has condemned Macron's decision to recognize a Palestinian statehood, calling it a reward for terror in the aftermath of the October 7, 2023 attack on the country by Hamas. He noted that a Palestinian state in these conditions would be a launchpad to annihilate Israel and not to live in peace beside it. He lamented that the Palestinians do not seek a state alongside Israel, but instead they seek a state aside from Israel. In a tragic development back home in Nigeria, at least 14 passengers, including women and babies, have been killed in a fresh wave of violence in Plateau State. The victims were ambushed on Thursday evening along the Chirang Road in the Mango district of Bokos local government area while returning from the weekly market held in Bokos town. According to reports, the attackers opened fire on a vehicle carrying market goers, leaving several dead at the scene. Confirming the latest incident, the Bokos Cultural Development Forum, BCDF, through its chairman, Famasum Fudang, condemned the attack and expressed frustration over what it described as a breakdown of peace efforts between farming and herding communities. He further alleged that the attackers were members of a particular ethnic group, claiming the motive behind the violence was territorial expansion. Fudang also cited ongoing village attacks and land takeovers in the Mushere area as part of what he described as a broader campaign by the suspected group to dominate the region. In response, the Gan Allah Fulani Development Association, GAFTAN, rejected the accusation, with its chairman, Saleh Adamu, dismissing the claims as unfounded. He called for restraint and urged security agencies to investigate thoroughly. The Emir of Guzau in Zamfara State, Ibrahim Bello, has sadly passed away at the age of 71 after battling a long-term illness. He died today in Abuja. The news of his death was confirmed by Suleiman Idris, spokesperson to Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal. In an official statement, Governor Lawal mourned the loss, describing the late Emir as a dependable monarch who worked tirelessly for the peace and progress of Zamfara State. Appointed as the 16th Emir of Guzau in March 2015 following the death of his father, the Emir Bello spent over a decade on the throne, during which he played a significant role in the socio-cultural affairs of the state. On to political matters, there are concerns that the Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi and former governor of Kaduna State Nasir El-Rufai may leave the opposition coalition party African Democratic Congress ADC over the plans of ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar to contest for the presidency in the 2027 elections. VOP News gathered that many of the initial promoters of the ADC coalition, including Nasir El-Rufai, are beginning to develop cold feet due to disagreement over Atiku's insistence on securing the party's presidential ticket, which may affect the party's ability to make an impact in 2027. A member of the party's interim management team, who spoke on condition of anonymity to Business Day in Abuja, lamented that Atiku's plan to contest the 2027 election will ruin the chances of the ADC. The ADC official, however, said that the party will not stop the former vice president from contesting, noting that the party will give everyone a level playing field. The source further added that the ambition of the former vice president may weaken the party unless he agrees to back down. The presidency has refuted allegations by the 2023 presidential candidate of the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, that the North has been neglected under President Bola Tinubu's administration. This was contained in a statement today by the special advisor to the president on media and public communications, Sunday Diary. He explained that several critical projects and programs are currently underway in the region. The presidential aide also outlined the major infrastructure, health, energy and agricultural projects being implemented across the northern state to buttress the government's commitment. He listed some ongoing projects like the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Expressway, the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, and the Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline, amongst others. Dari highlighted a $158.15 million agricultural value chain program across 9 northern states and the Kolmani Integrated Development Project in Bauchi and Gombe. Other interventions, according to the statement, include the Agro-Climatic Resilience in Semi-Arid Landscapes project, which aims to restore 1 million hectares of degraded land. In judicial cases, the Federal High Court in Kano State has reaffirmed Nigerians' constitutional right to peaceful protest, describing the arrest and detention of 6 members of the Nigeria Patriotic Front Movement (NPFM) as a serious breach of their fundamental rights. The 6 activists were arrested on September 30, 2024 by operatives of the Department of State Services (DSS) and the Nigerian Police in Kano State. They were transferred to the Force Intelligence Department in Abuja and detained for 2 days over their planned #End Bad Governance protest set for October 1, 2024. During detention, the organizers were questioned and later released without being charged. In January 2025, the group approached the Federal High Court in Kano, filing a suit to challenge what they termed unlawful arrest and a violation of their rights. Delivering judgment on July 23, 2025, Justice S.A. Amobeda ruled in their favor, declaring the actions of the DSS and the police as unconstitutional and the violation of their rights. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a very short break and return with more news and the news analysis segment. Do stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still listening to World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. In a recent development, President Bola Tinubu has urged governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress (APC) to ensure they work hard to deliver development at the grassroots. He warned that Nigerians were dissatisfied with the pace of governance and the tangible benefits of democracy. Speaking at the 14th National Executive Committee meeting of the APC at the State House Center, he called on the governors to wet the grass more for greater impact in communities across Nigeria. The president emphasized collective responsibility with his speech focusing on party unity, economic stability, and development. Joining me to discuss this and other issues on the World News at 12 this afternoon, I have Mr. Ola Emmanuel. He's a political, social, and national affairs analyst. A pleasure to have you here, sir. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, Nigeria, and good afternoon, the Voice of the People family.
Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure whenever we get to have these conversations. So, if it seems, can you hear me, Mr. Ola Emmanuel?
I can hear you very well.
Beautiful. It seems that the cries of Nigerians are finally hitting the ears of the president. So now he's telling APC governors, although some Nigerians will say this should be going to all the governors, but at least he's telling the governors elected under the platform of the party which he belongs to, it is time for them to wet the grass more to ensure that Nigerians are enjoying the dividends of this particular administration. Now he's receiving commendations from a lot of quarters for actually telling the governors to sit up and do what they're supposed to do. If there is one area Nigerians are really crying about needing help, it is in the area of insecurity. Security or insecurity, as the case may be. Just last week, we're having a conversation with someone from Plateau State who was on ground to show us this spate of destruction that occurred after an attack took place in that area. While we're still talking about this, are you with me, Mr. Ala Emmanuel?
Very, very clear with you.
Great. While we're still talking about this, 14 people, including women and babies, just the same way we saw it happen in Plateau last week.
Hello, Rita.
I can hear you. I can hear you, Mr. Ala Emmanuel.
Yes, I'm with you.
Beautiful. While we're still talking about last week's attack, the perpetrators have still not been brought to book. Just yesterday night, while you and I were going through our own businesses, right, believing that we are safe and secure in our fatherland, some people who were returning from a market were ambushed. Women and babies were shot at close range and killed like animals for no good reason. What exactly would it take to make insecurity a thing of the past in this country, or to bring these perpetrators to book? Because one thing the victims keep crying about is the fact that no matter what they say, the security agencies will come and say, the security agents will come and say, oh, we're on top of the situation. But at the end of the day, no perpetrator is brought to book. No one is prosecuted. No one is sent to jail for this.
Hello?
I'm with you, Mr. Ala Emmanuel. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think your line is...
All right, please go ahead and respond to the question. We're talking about insecurity. 14 people, including women and babies, were killed in Plateau yesterday.
All right, thank you so much. It's a pleasure having me online again to discuss national issue. My joy is that we are looking at what is missing and what can be done to ameliorate the condition. The subject matter of security in Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. But the problem we're having with the challenges we're having with security or insecurity or whatever adjective they need to qualify is we do not have the leader with the right willpower to tackle the issues of insecurity in Nigeria. Taking us back to 2011, 2013, when the whole saga began, successive governments played down on what is needful to be done. It is appalling to look at it here that these persons who perpetrate this heinous crime on humanity are just group of persons. And we have a nation that is contending with just few individuals or group of people. And yet from that 2011 to this moment I speak to you, nothing has been done positively to stop it or bring it to the barest minimum. As much as we say this, there is no nations of the air that doesn't have security challenges. But then in the case of Nigeria, our government are making a fortune out of it. I stand to be corrected. I do not have any figures or facts to back up this my assertion. But the point is that, like General Abuja said, any consistent challenges on the state for more than 72 hours, then, and if nothing is done to stop it, then the government is aware of it. So I can use that statement from what has happened over the how many years now, over 15 years now, that the government of Nigerians are aware of it, and it will not be far.
You know, Mr. Ala Emmanuel, it's one thing to be aware and another thing to be responsible for it.
And that is why I say they are not willing. So the irresponsiveness of our government to the issues of securities challenges we are facing is an indication that the government that be are aware and they are making a fortune out of these challenges.
How exactly are they making a fortune out of these challenges? If you recall, was it not last week El-Rufai came out to say that President Tinubu removes 100 billion from the FAC allocation and gives it to the state governors to fight insecurity. So how exactly are we making anything out of it? If anything, it's Nigerians who are losing. It's the government who is losing. All the food we are supposed to produce from the food producing regions that have been oversaturated by insecurity. So in what way can we say the government is actually benefiting from this? On the international scene, Nigeria does not have the best reputation when it comes to, let's not even talk about other issues, corruption, fraud, and all of that. Because of the security issues we have in this country, you see other countries giving their own citizens travel advisory, telling them don't come to Nigeria. So it's affecting us internally, externally, economically, maybe because it's not affecting us politically. And that is why there is this low and slow response that many Nigerians are seeing.
The issue is this. There is a gap, a wide gap. I can use the word gap. There is a wide gap between translating what has been said that has been earmarked to tackle security challenges in Nigeria to the reality of if those funds actually be made available. It is one thing to give a child a tuber of yam and tell the child this is what we are going to eat, and the child has a hope, only for the child to be given a ruler to measure the quantity the child will be used to feed himself. So if certain amount of money has been earmarked and it comes on media, the problem I'm having with Nigeria is that we talk more than our action. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So are you telling me that all the resources that have been earmarked since the Jonathan administration till today, they are not enough to tackle the security challenges? The issue is that the people who are in governance now, if you check out, there was a video I did and I said, the enemy of Nigeria is not an external force. The enemy of Nigeria are the politicians from the presidency to the local government. They're working syndicates to ensure that whatever becomes the thing that will make the populace enjoy comfort, serenity, protections, infrastructures, and whatever gives like comfort for the populace is not attended to. And that's the reason why we're having all this problem consistently over the years. So one cannot really say if truly there are budgets that will save in our. For instance, we are asking that all the governors should make provisions of this and this is that. And there is no state in Nigeria now that is left out with issues of security. Not just the north center, not just the northeast, not just the south. Even in the west, they are having problems. Why? Because it is one thing to say, it is another thing to do. So we speak more than we do in Nigeria here. And that's the challenges we're having. So if anybody would tell me that they have made those provisions and you give a governor maybe 5 billion to tackle security challenges, and the moment the announcement is made, the next day people are killed, are there no laws in Nigeria to call that governor of the state to be? I gave you 5 billion naira to tackle security challenges, and the next day there are people naming what is responsible. And if the state governor fails to do that, are there no laws from the national level to come and put that person into what is necessary to ensure?
So you're saying it's not enough for President Tinubu to tell the APC governors that Nigerians are complaining and they should sit up. He should tell the same to other governors as well, and he should also push them to do better.
That is just the thing. It is one thing to say, it's another thing to
But does the president need to tell them? Is it not even them that will be telling the president the strides that they are taking to ensure that lives are better for their people? Are they not the ones who will be telling the president, oh, this was how it was before, this is what we've been able to do with the federal allocations, and this is how we've been able to make life better for our people? But one good thing we can say is has come out of this. You know, sometimes we have people asking us questions here. Can the president hear us? Can the governors, can they hear us? Now we finally know that the president is listening. In what ways would you expect he himself to actually take these developmental strides and make life better for Nigerians? Because he has the biggest role to play.
One of the things he should do to clean the mess around him is to set the right people in motion. Most of the time, what we see in Nigeria is political partying, cunning, and craftiness other than administrative prowess. I don't know if you get that. What happens in the political parties, what happens as to what determines the person who has won the seat as a result of the political party is different from what the policies of the government that dictates. So if he says he has a mark and has tagged them, Can I tell you this now? Tinubu Ahmed is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So he cannot charge the APC governors alone to look into the security issues. It is a thing that all the governors and all necessary individuals that are in appointment to look into the security measures or challenges in Nigeria, because provision has been made. If you see something, say something, do something.
Okay. It's not just about saying, and doing as well. Thank you, Mr. Ola Emmanuel. Now let's move on to political issues. There's no gainsaying the fact that the political movements are in gear ahead of the 2027 elections. There are concerns within the ADC, and ADC Chieftain had actually come out to speak about the concerns within the coalition that the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, his plan to contest the presidency in 2027 on the platform of the ADC may ruin the chances of the party from winning the election and taking power from the APC. Now, this chieftain is saying that there is a possibility that Obi and El-Rufai will dump the coalition. Now, this reports or rumors, as the case may be, have been going on for a while, but this time around, it's coming from inside the house. The echo is coming from inside the house. This ADC chieftain is saying that El-Rufai is not happy. Peter Obi is not happy with the way Atiku is moving, because these two people, like El-Rufai, supported the southern candidate, which is President Bola Tinubu, in the 2023 elections, and he's also saying the southern candidate should persist till 2031. And if the ADC, if Atiku insists on being the presidential candidate and he emerges the presidential candidate, there's every indication that El-Rufai will leave and Peter Obi will leave as well. What does this portend for the ADC coalition? Some Nigerians believe that coalition was for Atiku. In fact, from the first place, it was for Atiku, and that him bringing Peter Obi, El-Rufai, Amechi, and others coming into the party was just to give it a bigger support base. How can the ADC take power from the APC if already from inception, from foundation, the house is already divided even before it is being fully built?
You see, I laugh in a language that will be in heaven for this statement to make. The reason for my laughter is this. I remember while we were online last week, a week before last, and I said there is nothing to hold sway for the coalition as the jostling for power. Nobody can affirmatively accepting or affirmatively declare that what I say in the fall or whatever is happening now is what will hold sway. The coalition is a scheme. I said so the last time I was on air. The coming together of these ex-enemies of the state. The coming together of these enemies.
You're saying the people in the coalition are the enemies of Nigeria? The people in the coalition are the enemies of Nigeria?
Yes. Why are they enemies of Nigeria? Which of this person can lift up his hand and say that he has not done Nigeria harm when they are in administration? Which of them? Is it El-Rufai? Is it David Mark? Is it Amechi? Name them. Who among them will be able to come and say that I'm coming here to stand in this coalition with acquaintance? And that is the reason why I say that people should not hold their statement serious until when we get to that place. Permit me to use this time when the chiefs are down, Rita, who no go no. So if at this point, at these preliminary levels, there is an echo from behind that a particular individual will become a sabotage to our ambition, it shows that the original intent of all these things put together coalition is not for the interest of Nigeria or Nigerians.
One would wonder what kind of agreement Obi, El-Rufai, Amechi, David Mark, and others had with Atiku before actually joining that coalition. Was Obi promised a presidential ticket? Is there still going to be primaries? Looking at the way these characters, these people, these individuals came in and took over the structure of the ADC. The former presidential candidate of the ADC, Dumebi Kachiku, said that Atiku was paying as much as 20 million naira to the chairman to activate actually leave that place for him. So if they're already coming, that's why I'm talking about if the foundation doesn't seem strong, can anything be built on this?
No, the answer is no. From the scriptures in the book of Revelation, the Bible says that once the foundation is destroyed, the people that believe in the structure that is about to be built do not have anything to stand by. It means that the intent of the coalition does not have Nigeria or Nigerians at heart. Read me and read me clearly. I said this without reservation. Because every one of these persons who has formed the coalition did not come because they want a new Nigeria. They did not do it because they want a better Nigeria. They did not do this, they want a positive change in Nigeria. They are not doing that because they want the Nigerian name to be wiped out from hatred. People do not hate Nigerians for nothing. You talk about Nigerian passport of people who are abroad, and when they talk about Nigeria, there is a way they treat you. It is not because they do this thing to remove others. It's because they want to come back and do more harm to Nigeria. We don't need them. The coalition is not going to work.
So you prefer that the coalition should scatter from now and let everybody go on their own?
It will scatter.
Wouldn't that divide the opposition vote, and President Tinubu will still clinch the seat again in 2027?
We cannot assure. I'm not going to tell you that even the coalition scatter, that Tinubu will win. Put it on record. Because there are things that the typical Nigerians are not happy about. And as much as such issues are left unattended to, anybody who is telling you whether Jesus like it or not, I will win, is deceiving himself. The truth of the matter is that they have impoverished Nigerians to the point that when they come in and begin to push out money to people, people now begin to accept their nonsense. But status quo will change when the chiefs are, that's why I use that word, when the chiefs are down, who no go no. So if they are saying that they are remember, I have said this one time. I came to the station and I said, the essence of this coalition, the essence of this coming together is just to ensure that the APC scattered every existing political party to ensure they have the power. I said, remember vividly that while I was on the station, and I said that the APC can set machineries in place in the various political parties to ensure they have the first-hand information on what is about to happen so that they can use it to destroy the coalition.
So the APC has already made its way into this coalition already from the beginning?
Yes. I am not a prophet. I know the handwriting that is on the wall, and that is why I could say that more like 4 months ago. Today now it has come to
you know, Mr. Lyman, before we move on from this particular topic and talk about other issues, one thing that's going on right now is there are people joining the ADC from different parties, from the PDP, from the APC. You know, there are people who were unable to win governorship elections who are joining the party, different people, some characters whom Nigerians feel like we know what you did, and they're actually joining this party, which I believe is one of the reasons why you said that the people in this coalition, some of the people in this coalition are enemies of the state who impoverish Nigerians, and they want to come and continue from where they stop. The Imo ADC, the ADC, African Democratic Congress in Imo State, said they are throwing their weight behind Peter Obi. We have the ADC in other states, and people, chieftains, that is both party bases and then individuals throwing their weight behind Atiku. So already people have the ones, and the party structures in different states and different local governments in different states have the presidential candidate that they want and that they like. If we were to go by what Dumebi Kachiku said of Atiku throwing money at the state chairman and even the national chairman of the ADC before coming in to take over the party with David Mark, El-Rufai, Peter Obi and others, does this mean that it is money that will still determine who will become the presidential candidate of the ADC before the 2027 elections?
Over the years, that has been the status quo. The politics of using money has been the reason why we are in the mess. Until we stop, and I've told people, until in any political polling unit I told people, the money you collect to cast your vote is the thing you have used to tame yourself. So if any political party member from ADC, APC, ABGA, Labour Party, name it, Conference Party, name it, if anybody is claiming to be throwing weight behind the status of the ADC, hear this from me. Yoruba proverb say, tí ọmọdé bá rí oyin, á sọ àkàrà nù sígbó. Translate that if a child sees a honey, he throws away the bean cake. So before this person can throw the, if you go to Benue State, people are saying this person has left, the youth development for this has left, and this person has gone to this, they have turned the ADC. You know why? They give this youth money. Those idiots who are youth.
Mr. Lyman, we can't use such words on radio. All right, we can agree to disagree, we can criticize, but we cannot insult and we cannot use abusive words. Please, let's not do that.
I withdraw that statement.
Thank you very much.
That somebody is giving you money to sell your future, and you are saying that is the right person.
Well, that is one thing we need to one notion we need to disabuse Nigerians of. Unfortunately, we also saw that play out during the local government elections in Lagos that took place on July 12th, ahead of the 2027 general elections. We keep telling Nigerians, do not sell your vote. We'll keep trying to do as much as we can to sensitize Nigerians, and of course the National Orientation Agency will do what it can to educate Nigerians before that time.
Rika, I'm afraid the National Orientation, whatever, is under a cage.
That cage might be the cage of low funding or no funding at all.
Okay, now you see, now that is just what I just said. Now keep somebody hungry, and you give him a piece of cake, the person will call you a savior. They keep Nigerians hungry. They deny them of access to road. They deny them access to hospital. They deny them access to security. Now, even food that are being produced in Nigeria now, we cannot access it. 500 naira worth of pepper cannot buy. You cannot use 1,000 naira onion to prepare a stew. And these things are being made in Nigeria. So they ensure nobody goes to the farm. They ensure nobody is able to do anything. So when you are hungry, whatever they give to you during their political campaign, you see them as a law. That is a typical slavery. Now, what did Bob Marley say? Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None ourselves can free except we ourselves. Nobody is ready to free us. So they do these things so that when they give you money, you see them as a savior. If they are able to combat the issue of security way back 2011 till today, people go to the farm. Was it you I was sharing with in Oyo State? A man had a very vast land of farm, and he went to the farm only for somebody to come attacking this person. And I was like, why are you attacking me? He retaliated. The boy who attacked the attacker was incarcerated. The person who attacked the attacker was incarcerated. That he had the opportunity to run away. Why didn't he run? Why did he attack the attacker? I am the owner of my farm. I work, I clear, I plant, I nurture, I weed, and my crop got grown. And you bring in your cow to eat them. And at the end of the day, this person came with a knife to kill me, and I was able to attack you. You was reported to the police, and that person was charged. So where are we going?
Mr. Emmanuel, let's move on from this particular conversation. We're still on politics, actually, but I just want you to talk on this for a minute or two so that we can actually end the session. Our time is fast spent.
Line is going feed. If you can hear me,
Mr. Emmanuel, can you hear me better now?
I can hear you now.
Beautiful. The presidency has lambasted NNPP presidential candidate in the 2023 elections. That's Rabiu Kwankwaso, who said that the northern region has been neglected under this present administration. The president's special advisor on media and public communication went ahead to list some of the commitment to infrastructure and developmental strides that this current administration is making in the north. But before we come to what the presidency responded to him, do you agree with Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso that the north has been largely neglected, while the south, the president has focused on the south when it comes to appointments, when it comes to projects, when it comes to development and others? Because when we look at what is on ground, when we look at all of these things that have been listed by the president's special advisor, and we compare it with the development that has been carried out by the federal government, not by state governments now, in the southern region, you will see that there is a huge disparity in favor of the north. So why exactly would Kwankwaso say that the north has been neglected? Was he trying to rile up the polity? Was he trying to make the north believe that he will work better for them if he were the president? Shouldn't the president be more focused on doing well for all Nigerians, regardless of tribe and tongues and region, rather than focusing on one particular region?
All right, thank you. Anytime there's an accusation, let there be substantial evidence to buttress your claim. If there are no substantial evidence to buttress your claim, let it be seen as a mere noise. It is semantic. Now, according to the 2025 budget, Northwest was given 585.9 billion naira. That has been allocated to Northwest. Whereas the Southwest was allocated 4.98.4 billion naira. So which one is higher? The North is higher. So how would you say that the Northern is underdeveloped? That is one side to it. But aside the allocations of this monetary value or budget allocation, until those things are translated to visible structures, visible projects. And if Kwankwaso is laying claim that the Northwest, the Northern Nigeria has been abandoned, what are the project allocations distributed to the various regions in Nigeria? So if those things cannot be verified, these are all statements to move people to believing in his capacity. They are all political statements. There is nothing to waste our time.
But you'll agree with me that this political statement have the capacity to cause issues. If people with a large following, people who have a lot of people who believe in what they say, tell people that they are being marginalized, and the people who feel that they are being marginalized begin to rise up and speak against the government of the day, how would that all go well for Nigerians?
Then the government, there are things that will correct certain tables or correct certain things that are not true. In sciences, there is something we call empiricism. If there are no empirical evidence to show that what you say is correct, then you discard it off. Even though as there's this statement, they say Malamiache in the north. So when people like Kwankwaso come up to say something, he's a recognized personality and he's revered for his positions politically and whatnot. But if there are no evidence to back up his claim, they should disregard it. Are you getting what I'm saying now? There is no single person politician in Nigeria that is a saint to say that I am here, I've been there before, and what I do. Now, if you check the policies and programs of Kwankwaso from 1999 to 2003, his policies and program, how well did it fare? From 2011 to 2015, his programs and policies, how well did they fare? So when you put these things together, yes, it is one thing to have a good intention. It is another thing to translate those ideas to reality. If those things are not there, and you're only feeding a group of people and you're telling them that is what I want, and they say, yay, Jegaba, then you are only blindfolding people. There is no truth in what you are saying. You are misleading people.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ala Emmanuel. Our time is fast spent and we need to go. The conversation is very interesting and I wish I could continue, but we'll continue to do what we can to inform the people.
The government has stopped, so I can't.
Mr. Ala Emmanuel, can you hear me now?
I can hear
all right,
you
we
now.
have to end the conversation here because our time is fast spent. All right, I thank you so much for joining me on the World News at 12 today. Your presence, your perspective, your analysis has made all the difference. I appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much and have an amazing day. You have been listening to World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll now take the news from the capital, from our sister station in the capital city, the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Voice of the People 96.1 FM, Abuja. This is the news.
Thank Thanks for staying tuned. These are the latest developments from the nation's capital. I am Nkamian John. The Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwon Nyesom Wike, has applauded the developmental efforts of Edo State Governor Monday Okpebolo, noting that the governor has remained focused on delivering the dividends of democracy despite distractions. Wike gave the commendation on Wednesday in Benin City, the Edo State capital, during the launch of modern mass transit buses by the Edo State government. He praised the people of Edo State for their steadfast support and for electing Governor Okpebolo, whom he described as committed to good governance. According to the minister, the revitalization of the moribund Edo line by the governor is a clear demonstration of his commitment, noting that the move will help address transportation challenges, boost security, and improve the standard of living in the state. The Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, FCT chapter, has ordered the immediate closure of the Gwagwalada Area Council Secretariat, including all clinics and primary healthcare centers in the area. This action follows the council's failure to fully implement the payment of 3 months minimum wage arrears to its workers as directed by the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Recall that on July 14, NOJ suspended its 3-month strike after the minister intervened and released funds to all 6 area councils for the settlement of the arrears owed to local government and health workers. However, the FCT NOJ president, Comrade Ibrahim Abdullahi Kabi, said the Gwagwalada Council had not complied with the payment directives. He lamented that nearly 2 weeks after the release of funds, many staffs were yet to receive their full salaries. According to him, only a few workers had been paid, and even then, just 1 or 2 months arrears instead of the full 3 months. Comrade Kabi said the union's decision to shut down the council was meant to send strong message to other council chairmen who may be reluctant to fulfill the minister's directive in full. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has extended the third-term academic calendar for pupils in primary schools in Abuja by 5 weeks. This was contained in a circular issued by the FCT Universal Basic Education Board on Wednesday, announcing the extension from July 28 to August 29. The move is aimed at recovering the learning time lost during the recent teachers' strike. Recall, the public primary school teachers in the FCT had embarked on a 3-month strike in March over the non-payment of the new minimum wage and other arrears by the 6 area councils. The industrial action disrupted the academic calendar and left many pupils unable to complete their second-term examinations. Following the intervention of the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, the strike was suspended and delayed second-term exams were eventually concluded. In the circular signed by UBEP Executive Secretary Dr. Al-Hassan Sule and addressed to education secretaries across the 6 area councils, the board said the calendar extension is necessary to close the academic gap caused by the prolonged industrial action. Government Secondary School Ozoro has emerged winner of the 2025 Federal Capital Territory edition of the VIA program for safe mobility, a youth-led road safety competition aimed at curbing traffic risk among school children. The competition featured 10 public secondary schools across the FCT, offering students a platform to showcase their creativity and ideas on road safety. This was disclosed in a statement by the communications lead of Green Light Initiative, Patience Agabi, on Thursday. According to the statement, the VIA program is a youth-focused road safety education initiative launched by Total Engines in partnership with the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, with support from the Total Engine Foundation and implemented by Greenlight Initiative. The program is designed to build young people's leadership and awareness on road safety through collaboration with the Federal Road Safety Corps, state education ministries, and other public sector partners. It also aims to reduce road traffic injuries and fatalities, especially among students. Meanwhile, Government Secondary School Asokoro and Government Secondary School Jiwa emerged second and third, respectively. Participants expressed their ideas through artistic posters, poetry, drama, and presentations addressing key mobility risk and solutions. And those are the stories making the rounds as far as the nation's capital is concerned. I am Kanyang John.
And that was the news from VOP 96.1 FM Abuja. Thank you for staying with us. Before we wrap up the world news at 12 today, here again are the top stories. You heard that France will officially recognize the Palestinian state. Women and babies among 14 killed in fresh Plateau attacks. ADC Chieftain laments Atiku's plan to contest may ruin coalition's chances. And Presidency lambast Kwankwaso over claims of prioritizing South over Northern region. That is a wrap on the world news at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Please follow our social media handles at VOP903 FM for coverage of your live event and brand news mentioned on our news bulletins. Do send a mail to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good afternoon and thank you for listening. Do stay tuned. Matters will be coming up shortly. It's the Friday edition.